When it comes to open world shooters, much like multiplayer or cooperative or even single player games, I always wonder, how am I really going to invest myself into playing these types of games? Now we come to Arc Raiders. For the amount of time that I played in this game, roughly more than an hour, I would say that I'm very impressed of what this game really entertains and provides to a gamer much like myself that normally don't play these types of games. I think thinking back to playing like the Division or the Division 2 or even Destiny 1 or Destiny 2, even with the multiplayer aspect, basically the PvP component. But when it comes to Arc Raiders, I've noticed I've already went into some gunfights, not with people, but with the environment, basically the robots. And I'm going to say one thing, that this game does have full potential. A lot of people are really talking about this game. A lot of people are really playing this game a lot. And not only that, I've already encountered quite a few people, but they cower down and say, don't shoot, don't shoot. And that's what I'm saying. This game is a blessing in disguise. And what I mean by this is that, yes, this game is a PvP multiplayer component of a game. But there is a lot of PvE, which is player versus environment, which is another thing I thoroughly enjoy. Roughly think about similarly to like the Division or the Division 2, to where you have the PvP component only in an area known as the Dark Zone. Now here's the thing. I really think that when it comes to Arc Raiders, playing it more than just an hour, this is coming from someone who has not played these games in such a long time. One thing that I can confidently say is that this game has a lot of similarity and differences from other games that I have played for the past few years. One in particularly called Generation Zero. You can play that game on your own as solo, but you can also play this game as cooperative play with friends online as well. But it has no PvP. Hence the reason why you go up against robots in Arc Raiders. That's where my analogy comes from. But when it comes to other games in general, not just Arc Raiders, but there's a lot of games that are heavily involved in this game as well, similar to, like I said before, the Division 2, or even Ghost Recon Wildlands or Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Another similar aspect that I got from this game as well, not just playing this game over an hour, another thing that this game really does magnificently well is its environment and the core gameplay systems, and the looting and the crafting and vice versa. Now this is another thing that I will tell you right now, henceforth, is that this game is definitely a looter shooter. While it's nothing like Ghost of Recon Wildlands or Breakpoint or even Destiny 1 or Destiny 2 or even the Division 1 or Division 2, while you're constantly always getting better gear and weapons, but here's the thing, it doesn't have to. And what I mean by this, when you play Destiny 1 or Destiny 2 or the Division 1 or Division 2 or Tom Clancy's Wildlands or even Breakpoint, all those games have a looter shooter mechanic to them. While you're not always going to get properly the best weapons in the game, but that you can still use them. I have not encountered that in loot boxes, but I have encountered loot boxes that have actually materials that you are able to craft in certain types of things within the game, whether if you're in-game or even at the main menu of the game itself. Now, to be fair and truthful here, I normally don't play a lot of PvP games, roughly none at all, really, because I really can't stand them. I don't like having the rage, I don't like having the stress, and I really don't need that in my life. But another thing that really what Arc Raiders does for me, for the most part, other than like I previously mentioned, going up against other people, cowering and saying, don't shoot, don't shoot. Now that is one thing I will say about this game as well. Not just as I precedently said before about, going up against other people and people saying, don't shoot, don't shoot. But the fact of the matter is, what if I told you that this game is something that of in disguise? And what I mean by that is that, yes, this game is a PvP and PvE component of a game. But here's the thing. You don't have to PvP. So I think, for the most part, if you don't want to PvP, by all means, don't PvP. Because I will tell you, and for what I have noticed, or for what I have known, by not playing this game for more than just an hour, but watched a lot of people on YouTube and saying, this game is more of a PvE game rather than a PvP, even though that this game is a PvP game. Now, that's one thing I will say too here as well, is that This is the reason why I picked this game in the first place. Not just because playing solo, but you can also play with friends and being able to just like have that type of communicative fun. I think when it comes to art graders, for the most part, you know, I just think that this game just has a very strong potential of going up against not just different types of people, but going up a race known as the Arc race, which is robots. So by talking about what I think why this game is a facade or a blessing in disguise in a way, to where not just because of the PvE or the PvP component, but the fact of the matter is the whole world of this game is a threat. Other than playing against other people or going up against other people, but you don't know what's going to happen. You can have people they're going to be completely friendly, but they can backstab you and they can kill you for your stuff. That's another thing that I find very intriguing about this game as well. Now, going back, and I'm going to rewind this here real quick. And so what I was saying about, this game is a disguise of not just being a PvP or a PvE component of this game, but the fact of the matter is you're scared to death. You don't know what you're going to do. But that's why I was saying when it comes to this game, Arc Raiders, this game is fairly unique from other games I've rarely ever played before. Not just playing Ghost Recon Wildlands or Breakpoint or Destiny 1 or Destiny 2 or Division 2, but this is what I'm talking about. This game does a lot of things that I was really quite aware of, and that's what makes this game so fun. And one thing I will say here though too, this is from someone that has their own perspectives or opinions of what I think about what a game Arc Raiders is and what it already should be. We already know what this game is. It's a PvP, VE extraction shooter with enemies out there, human enemies, or the Arc robots, basically known as the Arc. But for the most part, I really think that this game is absolutely a lot of fun. Like I said, I played this game for more than just an hour, and I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the best games I have ever played, not just being as a looter shooter in disguise, but also in disguise is the fact that the matter is that you can play this on your own, you can play this with friends, going up against not just other people, but being afraid for your life. But that's where I will say, that's what's the fun thing about this game as well. Not just being afraid for your life or not knowing what's going to happen behind your back, either if someone's going to be nice to you and then next thing you know, pop right in the back of your neck or your head or whatever, vice versa. You never know. And that's one of the greatest things about this game I've already thoroughly enthralled by, and it's amazing of what a game can do to a person much like myself, and not knowing what the consequences would be, not just for my actions, but for a lot of people's actions as well in this game as well. Because to my understanding is that Arc Raiders is still having a little bit of trouble on PCs prospectively when it comes to its cheating aspect. And that's one thing I will say, people, stop cheating. And a lot of people are saying, well, people are stream sniping as well. That is a form of cheating. So what I will say here in closing, ladies and gentlemen, I've had a lot of fun playing this game. I'm intending to play this game as much as I can, and playing with friends and going up against the robots rather than other people. And I will say, ladies and gentlemen, as well, you guys have a good rest of your weekend. This is Citizen JV, and I'll see you guys in the next one.